Hi everyone, we are group number 3.1 and myself and Dishak Mutundar presenting on behalf of my group. Today we are going to talk about an important topic based on the modern world technologies, that is digital leadership. And here we are going to talk about how it changes the organization's work strategies. We are going to quickly walk you through our study. We'll cover what we want to find out, what our main goals are, and why these type of leaderships matter so much in the world we live in today. If we look into the slide one, here we are talking about the introduction and the background of this study. Technology has completely changed businesses, and the old way of leading, the traditional way, is fading. Now, leaders are digital leaders. They use technology, they rely on data, and they lead people who are often working remotely. I can share one simple example. Instead of long physical meeting, a good leader jumps on Zoom or Microsoft Teams and get things done immediately. We saw these type of works during the COVID-19 pandemic when leaders at big companies like Microsoft and Google had to manage thousands of people from their home using these digital tools. This is the new normal. If you move into the research aim, yeah, our main goal is clear. Our study aims to understand exactly how digital leadership affects the way an organization functions. We want to know, how does a tech-savvy boss change the team dynamic? Here, you can think of Amazon. Their leaders use live data on giant dashboards to make decisions right now, not next month. We are studying the real-time data-driven influence. If we move into the research objective on slide 3, there we can see we have 5 distinctive objectives. The first one is identify the key traits of these successful digital leaders. What make them tick? And in the second one, we will discuss about how does the leadership styles affect engagement, collaboration, and new ideas. On the third objective, we will talk about how does it help the organization stay agile and quickly adapt to new technology. The fourth one, we will examine the culture, what their role in shaping the company's culture and how people share knowledge. And finally, we want to give practical advice for new training, the new digital leaders. Our research should be useful for them. Basically, we are studying how leaders like those at Netflix use digital tools not just to manage, but to actively encourage creativity and better teamwork. That's all from my end. Thank you so much. I am moving forward to my group member and he will discuss further.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to take the next part, which is the research questions. And this research question has to do with two main different types, which is we have the primary questions and we have the secondary. So the main question is, how does digital leadership influence organizational dynamics? So, and this secondary also explore how it affects areas like employment engagement, innovation level, workplace culture, digital resilience, and leadership characteristics. So, for example, we will survey employees to understand how they feel about digital leadership practice. So, we're going to make use of a real life scenario of an hospital implementing electronic health records. So, this digital leadership is essential to guide staff, reduce resistance, and ensure a smooth digital transition. So, the next one is going to be research onions. And our research is also done by Sander et al. In 2019. Studies follows the research owners approach, which we did on interpretism. In this interpretism, we want to understand people's experience and perception. The second is the inductive reasoning. We will be building theories for collecting data. And the third is the mixed data, which has to do with both the qualitative and the quantitative data. And the lastly, which is the cross-sectional design, that we collect the data at a point in time. For example, we will interview managers to explore themes, then use survey to confirm these themes for common among the employees. So for a real life example, we make use of an university which is doing have to do with the consulting, both the head of the department, the lecturers, and then we have to introduce them to a new digital system. The sixth, which is the methodology justification. We make use of the mixed method, which allows us to gather rich detailed insight through interviews and measurable evidence through the survey. Then, for example, when we interview, we'll have to have a kind of reveal challenges to leaders that's facing during digital transformation. Why surveys can show how widespread those challenges are across the organization. Another real life example which we'll be talking about is the bank upgrading their digital system. They often use interview to understand users' experience and survey to measure overall satisfaction with new technology. So I'll be taking you on to the next person to take on the digital collection techniques.
Thank you so much to my colleague. So I'm going to take you from where you stopped. Like we said previously, we're going to discuss about data collection techniques. Like my colleague have said, we use quantitative and qualitative analysis for that. That's the data collection techniques we use. So for that, we're going to use interviews and distributed surveys. For the interviews, we're going to use 18 to 22 leaders to explain their experience with digital leadership, distributed survey to 150 to 200 employees using Likert scales to measure perceptions. For example, we're going to be asking leaders what digital tools they rely on for communication or data analysis in their organizations. So we also have an example. Telecom companies often use interviews and online surveys to evaluate their digital transformation process across different departments. So we're going to move to the next slide, which is sampling and participants. In this case, because of the kind of sample we are dealing with, we are going to be using purposive sampling, snowball sampling, convenience sampling, and stratified sampling. In this case, we can use cluster sampling. So that's why we're using this sampling. So purposive sampling, we're going to use it for selecting leaders who have experience with digital tools, asking participants to recommend other suitable leaders. That's why we're using the snowball. And we're going to use the convenience sampling because of the selecting employees who are easy to reach. Then the stratified sampling, ensuring different departments are represented in the survey so it won't be biased. For example, we have interviews, IT managers recommended by their colleagues. Real life example is Tesco selecting managers directly involving in digital operations and surveying employees from multiple departments. So why this sample matters so much to us? It's well chosen sample. It helps us collect accurate and diverse viewpoints. It ensures that our findings reflect the experience of both leaders and employees, making the research more reliable and meaningful. So I'll be moving next to the other slide. So we're going to talk about the data analysis and validations. Validity. We will use NVivo to identify things from interview transcripts. We will use SPSS or R analysis survey data and text relationship. To ensure validity, we will use triangulations, comparing data from interviews and survey. Reliability tests will ensure consistency of response. Example is checking whether the employee survey response confirm the challenges leaders mentioned during interviews. So I'll be giving an example using a manufacturing company, comparing data from different sites to ensure accuracy before making decisions. So I'll be handing this back to my colleague to take it up from here. Take him up, please.
Okay, thank you, Rafat. I'm going to be talking about the ethical considerations. So we'll follow strict ethical considerations, ethical guidelines for this survey, for this study. We'll follow informed consent before the participation, anonymity and confidentiality, secure data storage, the right to withdraw from the study or from the survey, university ethics approval. For example, we'll remove the names from interview transcripts before doing the analysis. A real-life scenario is a financial institution protecting participants' identities due to the sensitive nature of leadership and performance discussion. The significance of the study. This study contributes to academic knowledge and provides practical steps by improving digital leadership in organizations. For example, the findings from this study can be used to design training programs that will strengthen leaders' digital communication and their decision-making skills. A real-life scenario is in healthcare organization. They use a similar study to train managers on how to lead digitally in the hospitals. So, in conclusion, digital leadership is essential for communication, for innovation, and for organizational agility because it helps organizations to adapt to rapid technological changes and to remain relevant in the competitive industry. So these are the references we used for this study. Thank you for listening. We are happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, team members.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your beautiful presentation. That's the end of our presentation.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye.